Paul, the epitome of timing person on the other side of this podcast, said, you know what? I should back up everything on my NAS while we're doing a podcast.
I'm not even backing up on my NAS. I'm just looking at my NAS. This is the reason I need a new NAS. Right? This thing is 8-9 years old now, something like that. It's not supported anymore, which is probably telling.
You're a NAS.
Also powered by about 512 kilobytes of RAM. But anyway.
Here's a fun one that may not have been in Microsoft's playbook. So yesterday we talked about how they came out and said, you know what, screw it. We're going to give Ubisoft the streaming rights to all this stuff all around the globe, except the EU. And then the EU's like, maybe we want that too. And so maybe we should look at this. And yeah.
Oh, you think that's what that is? See, I was curious, my take on it is that the EU is like, this might contradict this new thing you've agreed to with the CMA or they're seeking to agree to might contradict the agreement you already made with us. We just want to make sure. And I went back. I don't know if you read my thing about this, but I went back and looked at what both Ubisoft and Brad Smith at Microsoft wrote to see if there were words like exclusive or, whatever. And Ubisoft doesn't mention anything like that. And a careful reading of Brad's, actually not so careful. He was a little more explicit. Ubisoft does not have exclusive access to anything. So this deal that they have with Ubisoft could be repeated with other companies as well. But that said, I don't think anyone else would ever do it because Ubisoft, obviously is paying Microsoft for this, right? And we don't know how much. There's some kind of an upfront payment. They haven't specified that. And then, of course, each transaction will have its own payment. But Ubisoft, I mean, they're basically it's not even a partner, it's not even the right term. They're almost like a contractor for Microsoft. It's an interesting agreement. So we'll see. But, definitely drag this out. This has been great. So,
Yeah. So to exactly that point, the EU is probably like, we should probably look at this, which as we all know, not going to be swift.
No. Nope. I mean, I already do have an agreement. For the EU, I mean, I guess they could charitably just say, hey, guys, rather than force us to have a new investigation, which is going to take 2 years, just give us this too, and maybe Microsoft would say yes. I
bet they would. I mean, at this point, they've already shown they don't care.
It would be easier. Just you're going to do one thing everywhere in the world and another thing in this one geographic region. I mean, it would be easier, right? But that would be quite a thing, Brad. That the EU launches a new investigation of Microsoft's acquisition of
Oh yeah. This would be. It would be fantastic. I mean, fantastic in the most hilarious of like monkey's paw kind of curl sort of way. It's Microsoft's like, we're finally done. We got the deal with the CMA.
I didn't think I would ever get tired of the Benny Hill theme song, but now you've proven me wrong.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll see what they decide and do there.
Yep.
Oof. I don't know. We'll know eventually.
Here's a weird one for you. It's August, 23 as we record this. Windows 11 23 H2 is probably done. Probably already done.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it, but it's probably just done. It's probably sitting there done. Because yesterday was the preview release for next month's Patch Tuesday update for Windows 11, both supported versions, and Windows 10 too, I would imagine, but I don't really follow that because who cares? There's no new features coming. Not a big deal this month, but next month, week D, that should be the first release of 23H2 if the schedule holds, right? So
see, you're dependent on a schedule, which is your first downfall, but
depending on Microsoft was my first downfall, but yes, so we'll see. But I just wanted to throw that out there because they don't really talk about milestones anymore, right?
Yeah.
The way this will come out is like there'll be like a release preview version of this sometime between now and then. So we got like 4, maybe 5 weeks based on the calendar math there. But you could look it up. But we'll see. So anyway, just something to think about, because no one's going to talk about it otherwise. But it's happening. It might have already happened.
Yeah. Well, maybe, Paul, maybe, just maybe. Remember, they have that event in September, and maybe they're saving all their goodies for that.
Right. And what is that date? Is it like the
September 21st or something like
21st? September 21st. Let's see what day that is, Brian. That's an interesting day. It's a Thursday. Okay. So it is the Thursday before the Tuesday that is week D. That would be that release. So look, it's a Surface event, but it makes sense. Panos runs both businesses. They might talk about Windows 11 is semi-obvious.
My only hesitation there. My only hesitation there is we both know how Windows works. They very likely will come out and say, here's whatever AI and Paint, because that's whatever.
Yeah.
Coming in a future update.
That's right.
Not 20, whatever the next update.
Well, I mean, they got to market the next thing at some point. I mean, the first live event in front of a bunch of people might be the right time to do it. Which actually, you're right. It's Microsoft, so obviously they won't be doing that. But they should. We'll see.
Yeah.
They'll probably just release like a blog post like 2 days before, just completely preempt it,
Are they going to call it the AI update or the creator's AI update?
Oh, God, I hope so.
That would be...
Windows 11 Bing Edition.
The creator's update will go down as the worst.
That triggered a weird memory. Was there ever like something that was called something like Bing Edition? Does that sound familiar?
That does sound familiar.
Doesn't that sound familiar? I don't know why.
Was it 10S with Bing or something dumb like that? Who knows?
I think so. Yeah, Windows with Bing. Yeah, I think
Wasn't
there was
there Windows Bing Edition? Let's search on Bing for Windows.
I know.
Bing.
Well, the problem is Bing is all in the news today, so now you're not gonna. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there was
free Windows 10 Home with Bing is what it was.
Windows 10 Home with thank you. Okay, I could have sworn there was. All right, that's interesting. What was the point of that stupid thing?
I don't know. Apparently, it worked so well they kept doing it.
Windows 10 Home with Bing. That brand, it's so good.
It's not going anywhere at this point. They're too far.
It was free.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you have to dig it out of the ground, it is free, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right. I that just hit me right in the back of my brain. Like there's a vague memory there.
Yeah, there's also Gamescom going on this week. There's been a bunch of Starfield stuff posting. Apparently, there's a live action version of Starfield coming, or a show or a trailer. I haven't watched it yet. The trailer, that is. So I don't know if they're doing it. Are they doing a TV series? Who knows? They did it with Halo, and that worked out well. So why not do it with Starfield?
I think they should do it with all these big properties. Gears of War would make for a tremendous limited series.
They could just rehash Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, it is the same thing.
Well, I mean, the Gears story is a little more involved in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but
same premise: a chainsaw, people getting slaughtered. I mean,
I don't think it is, Brad. I don't think it is. But anyway, I do feel like some of these stories are rich enough to warrant movies, or now I would do them as TV series, obviously, because of the way the world is. But
the thing that sits in the back of my brain with all this is, remember, this game was delayed a year, so has all of this footage and TV stuff and everything, these promotions they've been doing, just been sitting on shelves, just waiting? Right. I would guess yes.
Yep, that's a good point.
Anyway, Starfield comes out in a week. Well, a week from, I guess, Friday the 1st is early access. Or early access. What is a release date anymore?
I know. Are you excited by this? Is this something you're going to look at,
play? I'm definitely going to play it.
This? Yeah.
I mean, just because I need something besides Call of Duty and Age of Empires. Age of Empires 2. They did release Age of Empires 4, but I have no desire to play that.
Yeah, although I know that is big in a certain audience, or with a certain audience, right? I mean, it's just not for me, but
yeah, I'll give it a spin. I'm curious to see. I mean, just mostly because this is probably right up there with a Halo level style budget, and if this is anything other than a success, they are in some serious trouble. So
they should do a series of movies that's like Fast and the Furious, but it's based on Flight Simulator, and instead of using cars to solve all the problems, you use planes and other things that fly. It sounds dumb, but then you pay attention to what Fast and the Furious is, and you realize actually they've done it. It's just with cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Planes, trains,
growly guy. It's all about family.